Cry havoc, and let's slip the spoilers of the film. Dutchman versus Doctor Strange.
Hello, you lot. I saw Doctor Strange last night, and I can safely say this is definitely a film installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Doctor Strange is a bit of a weird movie to me. I personally was looking quite forward to it on account of having a soft spot for the character. I have several trades and graphic novels of the character, and I can safely say that out of all the Marvel's early work, it is amongst my favourites. But the movie itself, unfortunately, has left me a bit cold. It had been likened to Ant-Man in the case of it having to follow up a big movie which was important in the timeline of the Marvel movies. Age of Ultron for Ant-Man and Captain America Civil War for Doctor Strange. And while sometimes this works out well, Guardians of the Galaxy, for instance, had been received extremely well. Ant-Man itself had gotten mixed reviews, divided between people really loving it for being more comedic and people really thinking it's one of the biggest stinkers. Doctor Strange, the movie in itself, is yet another superhero origin story. You couldn't really do anything else, to be honest. And we see Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange being an absolute twat. But unlike Tony Stark, Doctor Strange is not likeable at all, and we get a proper character arc in which he goes from self-centered to selfless. And while I must agree it's done relatively well, the movie itself, in my opinion, hinges too much on its comedy. It could have done with a little bit of a more serious take. There's actual slapstick involved that makes it look like a silent movie or a mime pretending to run against the wind. There's all this witty dialogue that made me think, oh right, Robert Downey Jr. might not be in these movies as much as he used to, so we just write a new one in Doctor Strange. It's just a little bit too much, haha, look at this, oh yeah, he said the one name, oh yeah, Beyonce is the thing. And while it may not bother me with a lot of other Marvel movies, in this case it very much so did. To me, Doctor Strange never felt like he was this kind of a character, and the world he inhabits as well seems bigger than this. But fine, it's a minor gripe. The overall movie itself, the big bad guy is called Caecilius, who's a non-factor in the comics. He's actually one of Baron Mordo's henchmen. He's just here in the movie to set up bigger villains yet to come. The only thing I did like was that he's not a generic doomsday, I have to destroy everything villain like Malekith the Accursed was in Thor the Dark World. Problem was that he didn't do much else aside from being bemused at most things, like Chiwetel Ejiofor, if I pronounce his name correctly, which I probably don't, had made me wait the entire movie to see how he turns into the bad guy, Baron Mordo. And yes, spoilers, the bad guy turns out to be a bad guy eventually, but they build it up properly. They give me a good reason why to believe he turns, well, bad. There is not much to say about this movie, really. Doctor Strange loses his previous life, he becomes a mystic master of the magical arts, and he, has to fight an evil sorcerer. But towards the end, they pull something that made me a bit scared. If you all remember Green Lantern, and if you haven't seen Green Lantern, don't bother watching Green Lantern. Towards the end, a huge bad guy from the comic shows up, Parallax, and Parallax is magnificent and powerful and beyond the scope of a single hero, and he all but gets chumped by one singular Green Lantern. And in this film, classic comics bad guy Dormammu actually makes an appearance, and he is grand. He's basically the entire dark dimension. You see slivers of him you feel like Doctor Strange is standing on his fingertip. He has stars and suns in his head. His face ripples with cosmic energy. And he is beyond the scope of a singular Marvel superhero. And I was so scared he was just gonna get blown the hell up or chased away and he would not return for another movie. But Doctor Strange does beat him. He doesn't do it by sheer might, and he is quite clever. This bit in the film, they telegraph it when they explain quite a bit about the Dark Dimension and exactly why Caecilius is trying to appease to Dormammu. And they set up several mystical relics with their own magical properties. So when in the end you see one gets used in the final battle, you're like, right, they did show that earlier. And when a specific magical item gets used in the climax to pull off a certain trick, it may feel like it's being pulled out of an arse, so to say. It actually is quite deserved. I mean, okay, it doesn't say why the item can do that, but it's a magical item. They're supposed to do magical things. Doctor Strange's cloak can make him levitate. Baron Mordo's boots can make him leap vast distances, and I'm pretty sure one of those things shoot lasers. I feel like I had a good time watching it, but I don't feel like I have to go back anytime soon to rewatch it. Some things I forgot to say in my immediate rants. Caecilius is again a very flat bad guy. Should have done more with him, like at the very least explain why he's gone to the dark arts and tried to mess up the entire planet like that. There's several other dimensions in this film, and they all look very acid trippy. You know the end of Ant-Man where he goes into the microverse? It's all very spacey and weird flashy lights and wormholes and lovely stuff. I love that. Unfortunately not the best thing the Marvel Universe has got to offer. The next one is going to be either Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or the new Spider-Man film, isn't it? So, here's hoping. See you anon.
Shutdown initiated.